Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we are actually going to be making keto bread. Now here's the thing, I found this recipe on Pinterest and it was for 90-second keto bread. Sounds way too good to be true, but we're going to try it. So I found this recipe off gimmedelicious.com. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it was actually .com and not something else. So gimmedelicious.com, I'll put the link for them down in the description box, and they had something on Pinterest about 90-second keto bread. And I posted it to my special Facebook group of all my friends who are also doing keto, and I said, who's gonna be the first person to try this? And a couple of them actually tried it. They said it was great. There was a couple tips that they gave. So we're gonna try it for ourselves. I'm going to record it. We're gonna watch all the steps, and it should be a short video because it's supposed to only take 90 seconds. So if you wanna watch how to make 90-second keto bread and see if it's worth taking the time to do, then keep watching. Okay, so the ingredients. It says 1 egg. We have 1 egg right here. It says 1 tablespoon butter or oil. I'm going to use Kerrygold butter, so we'll do 1 tablespoon of this. 3 tablespoons of almond flour. So right here we have almond flour. This is the brand that I have on hand. I don't think it really matters. So we have almond flour, and then 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, which I have right here. This is for 1 serving. So 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of butter or oil, it says, 3 tablespoons of almond flour, and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. It says to make, simply combine all the ingredients in a small bowl. That's the first thing we're gonna do. So this isn't small, but it'll kind of do the trick, right? So we have a bowl here, and I'm gonna go ahead and crack the egg. And then we are going to put in the butter. So 1 tablespoon of butter or oil. Let me grab out a knife. And you know what's really funny? I thought about while I was doing this, I was like, oh, I should put on a really cute apron. And then I realized a couple things. 1, I don't know where any of my aprons are. And then I realized 2, none of my aprons actually do anything. I have some kind of like decorative aprons that are super cute when you look at them, but when you actually wear them while you're cooking, it doesn't do anything at all to save your clothes or yourself from a mess. And the other thing that I realized too was, like, this is supposed to be 90 seconds. So if I need an apron and I get that messy, something went terribly wrong. It's kind of how I feel about it. So here is 1 tablespoon of butter. We're putting that in a bowl. It doesn't say to melt it. We're actually putting this in the microwave. If you have concerns about microwaves and stuff, I hear ya, but that's not what I'm doing today. We're using the microwave. So we have that. We need 3 tablespoons of almond flour. So I'm going to get out my measuring spoons, and we're doing 3 tablespoons of almond flour. When I first started going keto, I got almond flour and I thought I was gonna make these really awesome biscuits that looked like Red Lobster biscuits. I actually have the recipe video on my channel for you guys, and I'll link it below, because the biscuits are very good. It's just that when I first started, I kind of didn't know what to expect with the almond flour, and I made the biscuits, they looked amazing, and when I first tried it, I was like, oh, these are very almondy. And my husband looked at me and he was like, what did you expect? You're using almond flour. And I kind of, you know, obviously felt a little silly, but I put 3 in, so that's 3 of those. But the more that I used the almond flour, the more I didn't notice that nutty flavor anymore, and I just really enjoyed using it. I actually used this the other day to kind of mix with some Parmesan cheese and sprinkle over some asparagus and put it in the air fryer. And it was great. I didn't notice that almondiness about it at all. So that's the almond flour. So we did that, and then we need 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. So I have my baking powder, which is always funny because I always feel like I have it, but then the times when I really need it, I don't have it. So we have it today, and it's 1/2 teaspoon, which is this little guy right here. So it's a very, very small amount. Remember, this is for 1 serving. So I'm kind of curious as to how big this bread's really gonna be. It almost looks like more of a biscuit than a piece of bread. So we'll find out. So I put everything in the bowl right here. And now it says to combine them and then pour into a greased microwave safe bowl or ramekin. So what I do have to pour it into I guess depending on the size. I pulled out one of these ramekins, one of these little guys right here, and I'm assuming it's microwave safe because it's oven safe. I guess we'll find out if it's not. That'll be a very interesting video. I bet you that would go viral in like 2 seconds. So combining it, the hard part right now is that it didn't say to melt the butter. And I'm sure if you used oil that it would combine very easily, but there's literally a hunk of butter in here. So the next time I try it, I'd probably try it with oil, although I felt like if I'm making bread, I wanted to try it with a piece of butter because I felt like that would make it taste better. That's just kind of my opinion. I guess you could probably use any kind of oil at that point. You could use olive oil, avocado oil. I wonder how coconut oil would work. So this Kerrygold butter is kind of breaking up a little bit. I'm just mixing it. It's actually breaking up very well because I just got it out of the fridge too. So it's not room temperature or softened or anything. So it says after this, we put it in a greased microwave safe bowl or ramekin and we microwave for 90 seconds. That's it. So I need to grease that ramekin. Okay, so we are going to grease the ramekin with some olive oil. I have this cool little olive oil spritzer. I got it from Pampered Chef a really long time ago. You just pump it and then you spray. So I'm going to spray the ramekin, and I do wonder how it's going to come out with this little bowl right here. I guess that comes out in the shape. Will it be more like a biscuit or a muffin or maybe like an English muffin, I guess? So I'm just moving this around to get that oil coating all over it. This is gonna take a minute, so you guys can just like fast forward this part. Okay, ramekin has been greased, ingredients have been combined. We are going to pour it in and then pop it in the microwave. Okay, so everything has been poured into this little guy right here. We're gonna pop it in the microwave for 90 seconds. That's a minute and a half, and we will see what the turnout is. It's done. Okay, ow. So the ramekin is very hot, so I need to get something to hold it with. And it looks like it exploded a little bit. That's what it looks like after it came out. So now it says to cut around and flip it out onto a plate, I guess. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is it flipped out of the ramekin. It does say to cut it in half, to slice it as if it's a roll or bread and like you're gonna make a sandwich from it. So let's slice it and see what it looks like. Okay, I've now sliced it and you can see it almost looks like a corn muffin. It's still very hot. I can tell you it smells very eggy. There you go. And it looks like, I don't know what exactly you could put on it. Maybe an egg with some bacon and some cheese and make a little sandwich. Let's try it and see what happens. Again, it smells really eggy, which, I mean, obviously, you know, it's not real bread, so. Very, very spongy. It is spongy but dry, and to me it tastes like scrambled eggs made into bread. So here's my thought on this right now. If you're eating keto low carb, bread is bread, and as much as we want to reinvent it and we want to try to make it, I'm not really sure if I would recommend doing this. You can try it, see if it works for you. I did have a friend who said she toasted it I'm eating with my mouth full and that's so rude. And, okay. So I did have a friend who said she toasted it and that it was better when it was toasted. It's definitely dense enough where if you put it into your oven or toaster oven to toast it, I don't think it's going to fall apart. It's probably better toasted. I'm not a fan. It is what it is. If you want bread, you need to eat regular bread. If you are doing keto, low carb, and you don't want to go there, then yeah, we have to settle for substitutes like this. However, do you really need it? I don't think so. I think you can find things to eat that are delicious and will fill you up and satisfy you and satisfy your cravings without having to try to make fake bread. I will continue to try different recipes about the fake bread because who knows, if I find something that absolutely works and is delicious, then that would just be a miracle. And if you have a recipe for some version of keto bread that you absolutely love and I have missed, can you post a link or something down in the comments? Can you share with me maybe tips of what I may have done incorrectly or what you think would work next time, what you would use this bread for? I think a breakfast sandwich would probably work really well. I don't really know what else I would ever put on this bread besides just butter, just maybe toasting it and putting butter on it. But I would love to see your comments about it. So if you did like this video, even though I didn't really like that bread, would you hit the like button? And if you haven't subscribed yet, would you do that so that you can be sure to see all new videos? Sometimes they'll be winners and sometimes like today, they won't be, but you never know what's gonna happen. So subscribe and you'll get to be caught up on all the latest content coming out from the channel. And thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time.